Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, and Ben Shapiro is sharing what he calls shocking surrogacy horror story, and I'm providing a link without his little intro where he talks about some other things, and I'm going straight to him telling this story because there is some crucial information that Ben Shapiro is missing. So let's listen to him describe this story, some of his comments, and I will add some very important information.
Piece from the Center for Bioethics and Culture Network. Recently, I had a young woman reach out to me on Facebook via direct message. Her message began with, "I have a super urgent question." I knew immediately it was either an egg donation or surrogacy gone bad problem. The woman went on to describe a current situation in her family involving her niece, a young married mother with 4 young children, doing her second surrogacy. During her first surrogacy, she delivered twins, and since it was without any noticeable problems, she decided to do another surrogacy. Her aunt communicated to me that her niece is very kind, caring, and loves to help people. However, this surrogate pregnancy had taken a dramatic turn for the worse because, during her second trimester, she was diagnosed with aggressive metastatic breast cancer. The problem facing her niece, she explained, was if she consented to treatment directed at her cancer, she would be required to terminate the pregnancy because the cancer therapy would be harmful to developing 24-week fetus.
Okay. She would be required to terminate the pregnancy in order to get cancer treatment because the chemo might hurt the baby. I'm going to go to the National Cancer Institute's page, Breast Cancer Treatment During Pregnancy. And this is a page aimed at patients. I'm going to provide the link below, but there are some very important points here, okay? So I'm going to pause so I can scroll down to it, okay? Be right back. Okay. Treatment option overview. Key points. Treatment options for pregnant women depend on the stage of the disease and the trimester of pregnancy. 3 types of standard treatment are used: surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy. Ending the pregnancy does not seem to improve the mother's chance of survival. Okay? So definitely you don't need to do an abortion to improve the woman's chance of survival. So the only reason you might want to end the pregnancy, and I'm going to use end the pregnancy rather than abort because, as I've said before, you can end a pregnancy with a live baby if you choose to do so. Okay, and this woman was 24 weeks, so 24 weeks is viability. 24 weeks, you can definitely end the pregnancy without killing the baby first. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, so I'm going to pause, come back when I find the next pertinent area. Okay. After the doctor removes all of the cancer that can be seen at the time of surgery, some patients may be given chemotherapy or radiation therapy after surgery to kill any cancer cells that are left. For pregnant women with early stage breast cancer, radiation therapy and hormone therapy are given after the baby is born. So you can wait. It's not increasing your chances of dying if you wait till after the baby is born to have this additional treatment. Here's another paragraph. External radiation therapy may be given to pregnant women with early stage breast cancer after the baby is born. Women with late stage breast cancer may be given external radiation therapy after the first 3 months of pregnancy, or if possible, radiation therapy is delayed until after the baby is born. So she was past the first 3 months. She was well past the first 3 months. So it would have been totally possible to give her external radiation therapy, or you could delay it until after the baby was born. And again, this is not impacting her chance of survival. Another paragraph. Chemotherapy is not usually given during the first 3 months of pregnancy. Well, she was past the first 3 months. Chemotherapy given after this time does not usually harm the fetus, but may cause early labor or low birth rate. And then they have a link, see drugs approved for breast cancer for more information. And they state it again. Ending the pregnancy does not seem to improve the mother's chance of survival. Okay, because ending the pregnancy is not likely to improve the mother's chance of survival, it is not usually a treatment option. Gonna pause again. Okay, treatment of early stage breast cancer during pregnancy. Pregnant women with early stage breast cancer are usually treated the same way as patients who are not pregnant, with some changes to protect the fetus. Treatment may include the following: modified radical mastectomy if the breast cancer was diagnosed early in pregnancy. Breast conserving surgery if the breast cancer is diagnosed later in pregnancy. Radiation therapy may be given after the baby is born. Modified radical mastectomy or breast conserving surgery during pregnancy. After the first 3 months of pregnancy, certain types of chemotherapy may be given before or after surgery. Hormone therapy and some other thing I can't pronounce should not be given during pregnancy. And then treatment of late-stage breast cancer during pregnancy. There is no standard treatment for patients with late-stage breast cancer during pregnancy. Treatment may include the following: radiation therapy, chemotherapy. Radiation therapy and chemotherapy should not be given during the first 3 months of pregnancy. Again, this woman was 24 weeks. That's way past 3 months. Okay? So I didn't read this whole thing. I got that far. I'm going to pause and scroll down some more. Oh, here. Breast cancer does not appear to harm the fetus. They repeat, breast cancer does not appear to harm the fetus. Breast cancer cells do not seem to pass from the mother to the fetus. Okay, so why were these doctors telling her that she had to terminate the pregnancy in order to be treated for her cancer? Because it might harm the fetus? The National Cancer Institute page didn't say that you need that you couldn't protect the fetus, that there were no treatments that protect the fetus. So I think this woman's getting screwed over by the medical professionals. So let's listen more to the story.
Unwilling to abort the baby, the surrogate mother and her family were left trying to find a hospital where she'd be allowed to deliver the baby early in order to allow her to begin her cancer treatment.
Okay, so again, odds are, we're looking at the National Cancer Institute. It does not look like abortion is part of cancer treatment, that it's a required part of cancer treatment. Why these doctors were saying, sorry, you need to snuff Junior if you want cancer treatment, is a mystery to me. But here this woman and her family were trying to save the baby anyway. So not only were they giving this mother information that could put her at risk by causing her to unnecessarily delay treatment, but they were definitely trying to kill this baby. I'm guessing because they didn't want to risk a lawsuit.
They knew at this stage in the pregnancy the baby might not survive, but that with support from the hospital staff, the baby could possibly survive. So again, the situation in this particular case is a woman who is being used as a surrogate by two gay fathers, as it turns out. Right, so one of them presumably provided the sperm, surrogate mom provides the egg, and then surrogate mom, who is biological mom, she is now carrying the child, but she has cancer, it turns out, and she needs to get chemo. So in order to get the chemo, she also would like to give birth on purpose early to the child so it doesn't kill the child.
So look at the situation that they put this woman in, telling her her choices are abortion or just die of your cancer. Okay, if you're pro-choice, do you really think that that was kind? Why didn't they refer her to an oncologist who would work with her while she was pregnant? So anybody's willing to do the abortion will snuff Junior, but she's having a hard time finding somebody that's willing to try to give this baby a chance at life.
And here is where the amoral paganism of our society comes into play. The surrogate was faced with the decision most pregnant women hope they never have to face, saving one life at the risk of losing another. To make matters worse, the two intended fathers wanted her to abort the baby because they didn't want a baby who would be born prematurely and who may have serious medical needs. Because the baby is a product. The baby is a person. The baby is not a real human. The baby is just a thing that you can dispense with if it becomes inconvenient. Our friends over at
Okay, I'm going to have to skip past his ad here. Hold on. Okay, we're back to Ben talking about this story.
The fathers refused to entertain the idea of allowing the baby, if delivered alive, to be adopted by the surrogate or someone else. So,
they want the baby dead. They want the baby who could be delivered alive and adopted either by the surrogate or by another family, but they're saying no, you can't. The mother, they don't want her to be able to make the choice.
One of the dads who provided the sperm, he says, no, I don't want that baby to live. I would rather that baby die, because that baby might have a condition if the baby is born early. Even though the baby has to be born early in order so that you might try to save your life from the cancer.
No, the baby does not have to be delivered early to save her life from the cancer. We cover that with the National Cancer Institute website. This woman needed a better oncologist.
The fathers stated they did not want their DNA out there being raised by someone else. Even one of the surrogate's doctors said they knew someone willing to adopt the baby, but the fathers just wanted a death certificate for the child and asked that no life-saving measures be performed on the baby if he was born alive.
Okay, pro-choicers, what do you think about that?
It's unclear why the fathers requested a death certificate. Maybe it was to render the surrogacy contract null and void, since the pregnancy didn't end with them receiving the baby. Surrogates are often paid their compensation through the duration of the pregnancy, with the final payment made at the surrendering of the child and relinquishing their maternal rights if applicable by state law. So number one, you shouldn't be using other people's wombs in order to generate babies. It is not a good thing. This is a generally bad practice for specifically this reason. You're creating a biological mother who you then forcibly separate from the child. Not a good situation. In the next few days that followed from when this woman made initial contact with me, the family found a lawyer who was of no use. They reached out to Child Protective Services and were told that with a request for this type of immediate intervention, law enforcement would have to intervene. They contacted their local sheriff's department, who were sympathetic, but said this was up to the hospital and they knew of no law that would allow them to intervene. In their desperation to get help for the otherwise healthy fetus, they were sad that CPS didn't see this as infanticide if the baby was born alive but no one tried to support this premature infant. Eventually, the surrogate mother was able to find a hospital who would induce labor and deliver the baby vaginally. The baby was born in the early hours of the morning and died soon after.
Okay, so at least she found a hospital that was willing to give the baby a chance at survival. But again, why wasn't she referred to another oncologist? That's the infuriating part of this.
This is just obviously a horrifying story, but it is indicative of a culture in which people feel that our own children are...
Okay, and it's another ad. So I'm just going to close with, a lot of this could be avoided if she had doctors who, like I said, this seems to me like it was a legal decision on the part of the doctors rather than a medical decision. They didn't want to risk getting sued because if anything was wrong with the baby, even if it wasn't caused by the cancer treatment, they're afraid that they'd get sued, probably by these surrogates. I mean, this gay couple who are like, no, we don't want an injured baby. You know, if the baby's not going to be perfect, we want it dead. So these doctors are probably going, these guys are going to sue the snot out of us if there's anything wrong with this baby if we go ahead with the cancer treatment. So we're going to tell her, you need an abortion or we won't treat you. And this brings up the case of Allegra Roseberry, which, hold on, I'm going to see. I'm pretty sure I've got her story already on. Yes, I know. I already did Allegra's story. Allegra Roseberry, who was lied to and told she had to get an abortion to get into a cancer treatment program. So there's a case where a woman was told the same lies, that you can't be pregnant and get cancer treatment. She died as a result. So frankly, I think that the pro-choice people should be just as upset about this as the pro-life people. And the only people who should be satisfied with how this case was handled are the pro-abortion people.